My name is Kechi.
In 2017, she touched the hearts of the judges, the fans, and millions of Americans as she tried to live out her dream on America's Got Talent.
And what got you into singing?
I was in a plane crash when I was 16 years old back in Nigeria.
Oh, wow.
109 passengers on that flight, 107 lost their lives. Kechi Okwuchi, one of the only 2 survivors.
I was in an aisle seat, so I couldn't see out the window, thank God. I remember hearing this weird scratchy metal scraping sound, and that's the last thing I recall before blacking out. And my next memory right after that is waking up in South Africa 5 weeks after.
She woke up to a new reality, Kechi suffering third-degree burns over 65% of her body, undergoing nearly 100 surgeries.
I remember hearing music playing while I was in a coma. It was because my mom, she would play my favorite songs. My voice kind of went through a weird change after the accident, actually. You know, Mom and I realized that my voice was like just better, really. My very first time on stage was literally that first audition that aired. There's no second chances, you know, what you see is what that is, you know, and so it was very scary. The kind of opportunities and the kind of people that I've met because of the platform that America's Got Talent gave me, it's just something that never would have happened if not for the show. They just gave me this exposure, you know, to the world.
Simon Cowell, the first to fall in love with Kechi.
I know how much you loved Kechi from the beginning, but to watch that and hear her and know how you've changed her life.
I think it's not a question of what we did for her, it's what she did for us, if I'm being honest with you. Because, you know, when you don't have contestants like that, you have no show. And the fact they trust the show, that's probably what I'm most proud of.
But when the spotlight turned off and the music went quiet, this 29-year-old conqueror is still feeling the physical pain of her scars.
When I blink and when I close my eyes, one eye does not close completely. One of my ears, I don't have a lobe because I can't straighten my arms the way I want to. The biggest tight thing is my neck. If I can get even more of an extension there and there's a chance to do that, I'll take it.
The producers of Extra reaching out to a team of doctors who could help.
I was excited that the opportunity arose where I might be able to help her, even if just a little bit, to feel better about herself. I felt that someone like that deserves an opportunity to have a good feeling about herself. I didn't know if that was something Kechi would be interested in, but I was certainly willing to throw my hat in the ring if Kechi herself had any lingering issues she might want to address.
Beverly Hills facial, plastic, and reconstructive surgeon Dr. Andrew Frankel, dedicating his skills and energy to improve her life.
You cannot separate yourself from the way you feel about yourself and the way you appear outwardly to the rest of the world.
Dr. Frankel and his associate working to bring her relief and restore basic functions in her face and neck.
Kechi feels her right cheek is more full than her left cheek. And I feel like I might be able to diminish some of the subcutaneous fat in the right side of her face and get her more symmetric. I plan to release some scars along her neck to give her the ability to extend her head more fully, as well as an attempt to release some webs at the sides of her eyes that are currently impacting her ability to see out of the sides and also making her eyes look smaller than they are. Kechi also has complaints that she's unable to fully close her eyes. Kechi does not have much available healthy tissue throughout her entire body. It's going to be a big challenge to see what we can do.
So this is D-Day, first surgery. It's like 6:30 a.m. I'm kind of like a mix of excitement / nerves.
Her first surgery at Lasky Clinic in Beverly Hills, Kechi's mom, Ijama, by her side for support.
I'm going to see about what we can do to get your lip to look more symmetric by lifting this and maybe extending that out.
Here we go.
The surgery taking nearly 4 hours.
The surgery was very good. We accomplished more than I hoped to, which is surprising. And the only thing I didn't do is the earlobe.
Dr. Frankel able to fix Kechi's eyelids so she could close her eyes and made her cheeks symmetrical.
This is the most exciting thing that ever happened in my face.
And what seems simple to the rest of us, amazing to her. She can now turn her neck.
Yes.
Laura Sharp, a past patient of Dr. Frankel's and founder of Artists for Trauma.
Artists for Trauma began on my own personal journey from life-altering trauma, and she exemplifies where recovery is an art. She's incredibly special, as you know. God works through her voice, and the power of her voice and her message is what Artists for Trauma is all about. We're fellow travelers, and she exemplifies where recovery is an art.
Hi, Kechi. How are you?
I'm good.
Doctor's ready for you now.
Escorting Kechi from her first surgery to see Dr. Grossman in the Grossman Burn Center for her next round of surgeries.
How's the neck feel?
This side feels way less tight for sure, yeah. Okay. I just feel less of a pull. My lips have a more defined shape.
So we'll probably just do a little rearrangement on that area there, a little rearrangement here. Kechi and I met a little while back. We talked about what her wishes are, what her desires are, what her expectations are. Kechi's a very unique woman. She is incredibly mature, with a very realistic perspective on what can and cannot be achieved. The injuries that she sustained to her hands are quite significant, and she's learned to manage how to use her hands, but there's a limitation in her range of motion and how she can spread her hands and how she can grasp things. The nail beds for her fingernails have been injured to the point where they grow in a way that's very problematic. They catch on clothing and they get in the way. And so we're going to work on removing those nails. We're going to open up the spaces between her fingers. I'm going to work on with you right now is try to get this tight skin that just isn't giving you any give here to release that. When you see her on stage, she's using her arm. It's a struggle for her because she always feels that pulling and that tightness. That's the game plan for the first set of operations for Kechi. But burn reconstruction is a process, and there's lots of things that can still be done to give her better quality and better happiness. Kechi has had amazing reconstructive surgery from her previous surgeons, but with an injury as severe as hers, there's always a little bit more that can be done. And she took a hiatus for a while to get her personal life in order, her professional life in order, but now it's time to take care of herself again.
I am feeling good. It is 11 days after my surgery with Dr. Grossman, and now I have another post-op with him to see how everything is looking on this hand. So we're also going to talk about like my next steps.
Kechi's journey of healing not over. She still has a ways to go, but as these doctors continue to work with her, there is still one more person she wants to thank.
Hi Simon, it's Kechi. I just wanted to do this video to tell you a huge, huge thank you for everything that has happened in my life since I appeared on your show, America's Got Talent. This is really all because of you and the chance you took on me. So I just want to tell you thank you so much for everything you do for people like me. And I'm just so grateful that Extra saw me through your show and did all this for me as well. So just once again, thank you. And I hope I see you soon.
Bless her. And thank you. I've got to say thank you to those guys on your show for doing that. That's unbelievable.
I mean, if you hadn't have had her on AGT, then these doctors would never have known about her.
You know, just even the way she was just talking, and it reminds me when I first met her. I mean, she was so shy, and you know, because of what she'd gone through, and just to hear her talk like that, it's her confidence. I mean, it is quite an amazing thing. Kechi. So Terry showed me your tape, and what you said means an awful lot to me. I'm glad that you trusted us with the show, and I'm thrilled through the show that you're getting, everything that you deserve. You changed our show, and I'm glad that we've now become friends. And you know I love you, because I really do.
Want more extra? Hit the subscribe button and the bell and never miss a video.